NBA Finals kicking off tonight. Here's my NBA Finals preview. Here's 10 pressing questions from an X and O standpoint that I'm looking forward to seeing unfold. First of all, can Giannis make free throws? Obviously, who knows if they have him to start the series, if they get him back in Game 2 or Game 3. The last time these teams met, went 9 of 10 from the free throw line, but the big beneficiary of refs not enforcing the 10-second count. They gave him around 15 seconds on this free throw, which led to some good comedy as Jay Crowder's like, "Hey, are you counting? Are you counting? What are we doing here?" And Chris Paul's like, "Jay, I got this. I got it. I'll talk to him. I got this." But again, you can bet with the added scrutiny of it in the playoffs, for sure, Giannis will have 12, maybe 13 seconds max to get it off on his home court. Be a little more comfortable. The Phoenix crowd for sure will be relentless trying to get in Giannis' head and mess with him mentally. Number 2, can Phoenix force Milwaukee out of the drop? I'll give Mike Budenholzer this. He is a man of conviction. He believes in the drop. And yes, I expect him to start that way, even against killer mid-range shooters like Devin Booker and Chris Paul. Here's the thing that people don't realize, though, as much about the drop. As bad as it looks at times, in theory, again, the purpose of the drop is to try to give up contested long twos. It's to take away the rim completely by having Brook Lopez way the hell back there. His job, generally speaking, is not to contest the shot. It's to back up, protect the rim, stay between his man and the basket, take away the rolls, the lobs, the offensive rebounds. It's on Jrue Holiday and the guards to contest the shot. And they can do that however they see fit, which at times leads to ridiculous-looking things like Jrue Holiday jumping under and under and under again, Chris Paul 3 times, which, yeah, questionable strategy, Cotton, but again, that's their philosophy, that's their scheme. Expect them to try it, at least to start. It will be on Phoenix, again, to get Khris, to get Book into their comfort spots, to set good screens like Aiden does here, allowing Book to get to his money spots and pull up. So even against the rear view contest of, say, Connaughton here, if Book and CP can really get going, obviously, but at some point we'll have to make an adjustment. The other thing about the drop, it's not a guarantee. Again, the goal is to ideally go over the screen, force the guard into a contested mid-range pull-up with the big backing up. But it's no guarantee of that. He can certainly pull up from 3 as well. Takes a bit more out of you, out of your legs. Not going to be able to do that 100 times a game, but Chris Paul, Devin Booker, both capable of doing that. And if they get going from 3 as well, then it'll really force them out of it. So number 3, if they do get them out of the drop, what else can Brook do? Well, I'm not sure, quite frankly. This one, looked like it was supposed to be a trap, I guess, which he certainly doesn't do very well. Doesn't move his feet well, and Devin Booker just is going to go right around him anyway and get to a wide-open shot. So the trapping thing, probably not going to happen. You know you can't switch him onto Book and leave him on an island. If they are having trouble, again, with the drop and have to get Brook out of there, that's what's more likely to happen, having to put Bobby Portis, say, at the 5, which then lets you switch more things, switch 1 through 5. Again, Phoenix will still go at him, will still try to isolate him, but you live probably with that contested one-on-one shot instead of the drop pull-ups if those are really killing you. Number 4, can Aiden guard Giannis in the post? The answer from the last game footage, which is really what these teams use most to prepare for playoff games, playoff series, seems to be yes, which will give Monty Williams one less thing to worry about. Aiden did a really good job on Giannis in his post-ups. But question number 5 is, what about transition? Here's where it gets really tough. 4-5 seconds into the shot clock, Giannis is already down the court and gets a layup. And to be honest, this is not entirely on Aiden. Defending Giannis is a 5-man job. Can't just be one-on-one. These guys, these other 4 on the court, they have to build a wall early. They have to talk to Aiden and say, hey, send him here, I'm in help, send him right. Let Aiden know where they are. Let him know where to send Giannis, because if he just sees a spread court like this with 4 guys all out, not really helping, he's going to go right at you and get to the rim for layup after layup. Here is a little bit easier. This is what they did a ton last season, have done a better job not doing as much of this year, having Giannis just bring it right down the middle, because it's a little bit easier to guard. As you see, Saric, Bridges, both right around the elbow, in a stance, arms out. That makes Giannis see bodies. That makes it harder to get into those driving gaps where Ayton is able to block that shot. That's what Giannis has to see. Again, here he is from the top, and although Phoenix looks pretty good initially, they have to stay in their gap help. They can't leave it early. Bridges is there, but for some reason makes the decision to go back out to Brook Lopez. No, they have to make Brook Lopez shoot threes, make all these guys shooters, take away the honest layups, at least to start. And if Milwaukee really makes him pay from three, then maybe you adjust. It's a game of inches. Can't leave your gap help early. Same thing here. Jay Crowder is the closest guy to help, and if he's a little bit lower, a little bit more in a stance, hands out, that's a steal versus just swiping at the ball as Giannis gets a layup. Little things are the big things. But Ayton, again, well equipped to guard Giannis as a roll man, which Milwaukee sometimes has big success with. Ayton will just be in his drop there, and Milwaukee, the only guy they really have that'll beat that consistently, Khris Middleton. So if it's guys, obviously DiVincenzo's out, but the other guys, ball handlers against this, you live with Ayton backing up, taking away the lob to Giannis, staying between him and the basket. Number, what are we up to? 6. Who guards Giannis with Ayton out? That question is going to keep Monty Williams up at night. On paper, maybe Jay Crowder, but if he's going to do stupid things like jab at the ball in the backcourt and end up way behind Giannis, you have no chance of stopping him then. He was no match for Giannis at all the last time these teams played. And again, despite being a reasonable fit on paper, he's just really had no success. So Monty might have to make sure Ayton is really in the game at all times. Giannis is, and if Ayton gets in foul trouble, honestly, I don't know. Maybe you go to zone or something, because I'm not sure they have another guy that can guard Giannis one-on-one. Ayton, though, again, did his job pretty well. Some of these clips guarding Giannis were honestly orgasmic for coaches to watch. Here, he ends up kind of in an accidental front, but Chris Paul, great job coming over to help from the low spot. And then Ayton, again, resisting, bumping Giannis on his own spin move, bodying him up, forcing a jump ball. Really physical. Obviously, his size, his girth, the best fit to go against Giannis. Speaking of which, girth, number 7. Can Bridges single cover Middleton? Bridges, obviously a good defender, very good defender at times, but clearly the slender man. He's not the most physical dude in the world, mostly given his physical build, and Middleton at times just looked like he didn't even feel him. So, especially if Giannis is out, I'm not sure you can let him just go one-on-one. He loves to half spin and look like he's going one way, go the other way. Obviously, these shots, not easy, but that's what Middleton does. He's a bucket. You can't let him torch you. This isn't awful defense, but I do think you're going to have to think long and hard about potentially coming over to double, again, especially if Giannis is out of the game and you can be a little more aggressive with your help. Number 8, who can Campaign guard? As good as Campaign is offensively, he can at times give up more points on the defensive end. Make no mistake, Milwaukee will target him. If they have to play Jeff Teague, sure, Cam can guard him. He can probably chase Bryn Forbes a little bit, but they'll try to get him switched onto Middleton. Obviously, Giannis. We'll see if Cam's providing enough offense, or if the Suns might have to throw out Javon Carter, their defensive specialist, third point guard, if Cam is really a big matchup problem. They do, Phoenix, at least have the advantage of Chris Paul being able to switch all of these cross-screen type actions, and he can even probably guard Middleton straight up at times, be the matchup here. He tries to front him, and then Middleton makes the mistake of putting the ball on the floor, which Chris Paul is fantastic at getting up underneath you, bothering your shot if you make the mistake of dribbling against him. Number 9, can the Suns hide Booker? This might be a little bit too strong of a word. I'm not saying Book is an awful defender. His effort level in the playoffs tremendously increased. Nevertheless, a lot of these clips concerning. Monty knows Book's going to have a massive load offensively. Him and CP can take turns resting defensively at times, guarding spot-up guys like Connaughton or Tucker, but Bud will 100% try to make Book defend. Expect Holiday to go at him like we're seeing here, hunt him in switches. Last game, Book provided little to no resistance. Number 10, will Brook be too much in the post? Obviously, an unexpected dynamic of the Hawks series was Brook Lopez turning back into a low post option. When Giannis is out, Ayton should be able to guard Lopez, but when Giannis is in, that's going to take Ayton, which means Saric, Crowder will have to guard Lopez. Expect Bud certainly to try to post him against those matchups where Brook has a big-time size advantage. Phoenix will likely try to front him, but again, doesn't mean Milwaukee still can't get the ball to him regardless. One bonus question, if Milwaukee goes small, is Ayton playable? That one might seem a little surprising to ask on paper, but watching the last game film, this is just the natural tendency of bigs. They love to get sucked in, end up going, trying to block everything. PJ Tucker is a corner specialist. Ayton cannot, if he's guarding him, just roam into the paint freely because they will find him in the corners, and Tucker will make you pay with those corner threes. So if Milwaukee, again, really downsizes, really goes 5 out and super small, Ayton needs to remember that his responsibility is going to be to stay home sometimes, and he can't roam in trying to block everything. Speaking of bonus 25 minutes. Yes, 25 minutes of all different clips detailing X factors, key plays, and my prediction for the series. You can get that on patreon.com/ScoutWithBryan right up here for even $2 a month. Again, 2 bonus videos, 10 minutes and 15 minutes, 25 minutes total. Key plays, prediction, X factors, patreon.com/ScoutWithBryan. Thanks for watching. Thumb up, subscribe, and enjoy the NBA Finals.